Welcome to the whimsical world of CALIX solutions, where security meets creativity. Meet Clay, our digital explorer, embarking on a journey through the internet. But wait, the online world can be a tricky place. That's where Liberty Laptop comes in. With Liberty Laptop, Clay surfs the web freely and securely, leaving no digital footprints behind. Clay can access information typically out of reach, expanding his digital horizons. Now let's dive into the exciting world of cryptocurrency with Crypto Laptop. Clay can now buy and sell crypto with confidence, knowing transactions are safe and secure. Crypto Laptop works seamlessly with various wallets and exchanges. How convenient! But remember, Clay always does his homework before investing. Smart Clay. Cryptocurrency can be volatile, so Clay learns about the risks and rewards. Need a helping hand? CALIX Solutions support team is always ready to assist. From cybersecurity updates to instructional videos, we've got Clay covered. Our comprehensive support portal ensures Clay never feels lost in the digital world. Ready to join Clay in the CALIX Solutions adventure? Visit www.calixsolutions.io today. CALIX Solutions, empowering your digital journey, one Clay figure at a time.
And we are live. Good morning, everybody. It's your favorite truck driver in the whole wide world. It's Bitcoin Ben, here for the daily. What the pluck is going on with cryptocurrencies and everything else? My friends, get ready to party, because we are going to hit $100,000 today. Or maybe we don't. Maybe we hit 103,000 today. Maybe we hit 104,000 today. Remember, just a few days ago, we jumped up $10,000 in one day. Folks, I'm telling you now, and I have examples here, right? I'm going to show you some of the utility. The old system, now mind you, the old system, I'm not talking about the Federal Reserve. I'm not talking about the banking system and all that. What I'm talking about is the creative minds of the old system. The old system is now implementing the Bitcoin into commercial lending for property. Now, I'm going to show you something. Everyone has been worried about the commercial real estate industry. They have actually come up with a way to save it using the Bitcoin. And it isn't us. It isn't the OG Bitcoiners. It isn't it isn't our new system implementing this. It's the old system recognizing the value of the Bitcoin and implementing it into their old structures to eliminate, let me say that again, eliminate the risk. And this is what's the most beautiful part. Imagine when you pay off your house, you don't just actually get the house you bought, you get the Bitcoin that you actually bought with the house that was held as an asset of collateral against the loan. Hold, please.
First time you're combining Bitcoin to actually make maybe loans, which, why don't you explain it? Because it takes some of the problem that you normally have with lending, which is inflation, I guess, and it could actually lessen the risk and volatility for fiduciaries running pension plans.
Yeah.
Hard to believe Bitcoin could be a solution to pension fund management.
That's what we're thinking. Well, good morning, Joe,
Morning.
Becky, Andrew. I'm so pleased to be here. And I'm really excited to announce today on Squawk Box this loan that we've just completed. We combined a seasoned multifamily asset in Philadelphia, about 50 meters away from the First Bank of the United States, the one that Alexander Hamilton started. We combined that asset with around 20 Bitcoin. And we provided a loan to refinance the existing mortgage on the property, to provide the asset sponsor some funding for capital improvements, and with the remainder to buy the 20 Bitcoin.
Okay, we got to go backwards.
Go ahead.
You got to go backwards. We're just going to slow the whole thing down so everybody understands what happened. Okay, so there's a property.
Yep.
Physical property.
Multifamily.
Right, it's a
Multifamily, 63 units.
It's a multifamily property. The sponsor, effectively the owner of that property,
Yep.
needs a loan.
That's right.
Okay, they come to you.
That's right.
Okay, you say, we'll provide you the loan in the form of
A loan.
a classic loan.
That's right.
Okay, so you're going to give them cash.
That's right. Term financing.
Term financing. And how long's the loan? Just
10 years.
10-year loan. Okay.
That's right.
At above market rate or below, or what's
No,
the
market
just
rate
a
interest rate.
I'm just trying to slow the whole thing. Okay, now let's introduce the Bitcoin piece into it.
That's right.
So no, explain how the Bitcoin piece
And
then
why?
relates. So the loan has been provided.
The use of proceeds is to pay off the existing financing. So
The use of the proceeds
of the loan
of the loan,
is to retire the existing mortgage.
right? So there's an old mortgage.
Gone.
They're going to pay the old mortgage
That's
off.
been paid off.
Okay,
Now they have a little bit extra money to make some improvements in the property.
right. So a
And-
little bit extra cash. So the amount of money you've lent pays off the old loan.
That's right.
It's also you have a little bit of extra to fix
Improve
stuff
the
up.
property, fix
Okay.
stuff up.
Yep.
And then with the remainder, which is a little bit
So you
more,
have even a little extra, an
That's
extra
right.
turn.
and that, instead of cash out,
Uh-huh.
Bitcoin in. And we use it to purchase some Bitcoin and add it to the collateral package of the loan. So now our loan is supported by both the traditional asset, the 63 unit apartment building,
Right.
and the Bitcoin.
So
Okay.
the loan, it was maybe $2 million more, so that's how you get the
Exactly.
Bitcoin out?
Exactly right. So it's
On the assumption that the Bitcoin's going to rise faster, and that will become an asset. That's,
over the life of the loan for
Yeah.
sure. So we think on the downside, this provides us with much better protection compared to a traditional lender, because a traditional lender, if something goes wrong, they have to recover against that particular building, which is idiosyncratic risk. Something might happen with the maintenance or
But
what
that
have you.
also requires conviction on your end that Bitcoin is not a volatile asset
Over
and
time.
over time,
Over time.
and that is either going to go up or at least stay where it is.
Well, that's by fusing the Bitcoin with credit and by fusing it with traditionally financeable assets, it gives us the luxury of expressing that medium-term view on Bitcoin. And that's what's key. It's volatile in the short run. You know, I mean, minute by minute today, who knows, it could cross 100,000. That would be
how
exciting.
long's the loan?
10 years.
10 years.
And the minimum hold period for the Bitcoin is 4 years. So what we say to the borrower is we say, look, you can repay the loan at any time for any reason with no penalty, which is a really valuable feature compared to a traditional loan.
Yeah, that's like a home mortgage. That,
Like a home mortgage almost. That's very unusual for commercial financing. But what we do say is that to the extent that the loan is repaid at year 4 or earlier, the minimum will release the property. But the minimum length of time that the Bitcoin has to stay in escrow is 4 years.
Andrew, go on to, because I don't know how it's sounded, but I'm fascinated about, there is a problem for state and municipalities in terms of the asset liability mix. Somehow you think that using Bitcoin, that you can lower that risk and increase returns and narrow the gap? How does that work for pensions?
Well, if you think about it, Joe, the average exposure to fixed income at U.S. pensions is around 25 to 30%.
Okay.
And many of them have an asset liability funding mismatch of around 25% as well. They're a big shortfall. That's going to be a big burden on taxpayers and a real problem.
We've talked about this so much and how to solve it.
Now, what they've been doing in credit is reaching for risk, going for super high yields, leverage, niche strategies. And I think that it's time to pivot away from those toward high quality credit, where the return per unit of risk is extremely attractive, but the returns are not as high. How do you compensate for that? You fuse the credit with Bitcoin, and you utilize the credit to express a medium to long-term duration. Because yes, if you have the Bitcoin for 1 day, 1 week, it's extremely volatile. But for 4 years, 4-year hold period, the worst ever return has been just over 23%. The 5th percentile, 30%, the 50th percentile, 91%. So if you take a small amount of Bitcoin and you add it to a large amount of high quality credit in novel lending solutions, novel structured credit pairings, what you can accomplish from an asset allocation and an overall portfolio strategy perspective is incredible. It can actually be a cornerstone to close the asset liability gap at pensions.
Okay, do you understand what that guy just said? There was a property. The property got a loan at this company. It paid off the old loan and then used a little bit of the loan to improve the property. Then the rest of the loan went to purchase 20 Bitcoin at today's prices. Now, it is a 10-year loan. So from the lender's side, their collateral on that loan is now the property and the Bitcoin. So their risk in that loan is very low, because if the person actually doesn't pay the loan, they get the property plus they get the Bitcoin. Where from the homeowners or the property owner's point of view, think about this. When you buy your house, a certain amount of your house purchase price is put into buying the Bitcoin. Right? Yes, it eliminates the risk. Now, imagine this. You own that property and you have a 10-year loan. When you pay off that loan, not only do you own the property, you own 20 Bitcoin that you bought 10 years ago. How much is that Bitcoin worth now? The Bitcoin's going to be worth more than the freaking property. That's genius. Everyone is going to do this. Look over here. One of our reliable viewers, call Mary. Who is this with whom? All right. Oh, Mary is hearing this and she's like, well, holy shit. I'll buy property. I'll link it with Bitcoin. It's a win-win. Let's see. Who will have custody of my Bitcoin? It will probably be in a multi-sig wallet or held in a smart contract. Right? Now, imagine that on everything. You got to let your mind run with this. Imagine if you bought a car, right? Everyone knows as soon as you drive off the lot with a car, it depreciates. What if the interest you pay for the loan is replaced with the requirement to purchase the Bitcoin? So what you would have paid in interest is allocated towards actually buying the Bitcoin. You'll have a depreciating asset against an appreciating asset in the same loan. And, all right, and at the end of the loan, when you pay off the car, you get the Bitcoin. It's an incentive to pay your loan. Or say that the Bitcoin reaches a value that could pay off the car early. And you just pay off the car loan with the Bitcoin that's in the loan. It's perfectly set up, folks. Yes, exactly. Bitcoin will completely reevaluate the entire real estate market. Absolutely. All right. A lot of people, when they buy a home, right, they have to actually buy loan protection insurance. Right? That's where you pay extra if you can't put 20% down. What if that money goes into buying some Bitcoin? Exactly. PMI, private mortgage insurance. Right? What if the insurance company is replaced with Bitcoin? You don't need the insurance company if the loan includes the Bitcoin. And as long as it's a 4-year or higher loan, you're good. Exactly. PMI will be a smart contract. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. See, this is what, and this guy here, he's from the old system. Those are coming. Those are coming Fed. All right. Actually, those exist right now. There's a link under here for a company called Salt Lending. They will lend you money against your Bitcoin. And I fully trust Salt Lending. They have been around for a long time, and I know the CEO. All right. So, yeah, you're good. You can actually do that now. Yes, the insurance companies are sweating this, right? But really, they're not. And I'll tell you why. Because all right, the problem with insurance is they've always struggled with the devaluation of the dollar. What if half of your premium purchases the Bitcoin? Then, if there's an event, then they sell off some of the Bitcoin and pay for the event. See, insurance companies are going to jump all over this because they'll actually be able to make a fuck ton of money just rolling the premiums into Bitcoin, holding the Bitcoin as a reserve. See, the problem that the insurance companies have always had is they've always had to buy treasuries or go further out on the risk curve. This eliminates that, folks. The Bitcoin absorbs the risk. And that's why a lot of people, folks, this is what no one's talking about. In the world, there are $600 trillion worth of value in the world. All right, that's products and cars and property and all this. What no one's looking at is what is the value of eliminating risk out of the system. How much is eliminating risk worth? Because if there's 600 trillion worth of assets, how much is the risk eliminating value of the Bitcoin? Exactly. Folks, hodl the Bitcoin. Now, for those of you who are long-minded investors, I'm launching an all-inclusive resort in El Salvador. I'm going there next week to look at property. You want to know my plan for the resort? Let me elaborate. All right. I have all of my investors lined up already, but there are single shares available, and if you want single share of the resort, because it's all tokenized, right? You can actually get single shares if you call 941-391-3882. But that's not what I'm trying to tell you here. This is what I'm going to do with the resort. All right. I have the capital already to build the resort. I already got the money. I'm good. I'm going to build the resort. Then I'm going to take out a loan on the resort, and I'm going to back the resort with Bitcoin. So all of the investors will not only own the resort, they'll own the Bitcoin from the loan of the resort. Sound pretty smart? Yeah. Oh, no. It isn't a timeshare. No, it isn't it isn't like a timeshare thing. It's all right. Let me explain it real quick. All right. So every January, the tokens for the rooms go on sale in January. There's a certain amount because there's a certain amount of rooms and each token is worth 1 day. All right. So in January, we sell all of the tokens. Well, and those are all sold at one price. Well, those who actually buy them in January, they can use them for a week's vacation at the resort. That's fine, right? Or you can put them on the exchange of the resort's website, and you can sell them in the future. So when the vacation season comes, you can sell your tokens you bought in January. You can sell them for like 3 or 4 times what you paid for them in January. Exactly. It's the new concept of all-inclusives, right? Plus, when I say all-inclusive, I mean all-inclusive. I go to all-inclusive resorts. Yeah, they're not all-inclusive, right? At our resort, at the Bitcoin Ben Beach Resort, you get your room, which is high end. You get a Jeep with it. So your room has its own Jeep, 4x4, 4-door. You also get a scooter and a jet ski is included in the room. And they're all the same color as the room. So if you're in the red room, you get a red Jeep, you get a red scooter, and you get a red jet ski. If you're in the blue room, you get the blue Jeep with the blue scooter and the blue jet ski. This is going to be all inclusive. I ain't playing that half-ass bullshit. Oh, and if you own 10 shares of the resort, you actually get 10% off of the tokens that you buy in January for your room. If you own 20 shares, you get 20% off the tokens in January. But that's as high as it goes. And I go I go in a week and a half to El Salvador. In fact, I'm actually buying a car today, or an SUV today in El Salvador. I have to go to the bank and wire the money to El Salvador to buy the car for my employee in El Salvador. Folks, the clubs, I have a club in Sarasota. I have a club in Nashville. I have a club up here in Massachusetts. That's where I'm at right now. We're launching a club in St. Louis. We're launching a club in Dallas. We're launching a club in Vegas before the conference in Vegas. Launching a club in Arizona, launching a club in Tampa. Folks, go big or go home, baby. That's what I say. Now, for those of you interested in shares or whatever, it's simple. Give us a call at 941-391-3882. Now, this is what I recommend. Every Friday, I have a call with all of the owners of the clubs. Every Friday at like 1 o'clock, or is it noon? I think it's noon. Get on that call. All right. If you call us right now, 941-391-3882, and you say, how do I get on the owner's call? Well, The reason you want on the owner's call is so that you hear me and the owners and actually talking about rolling it out, leases and properties, and you get to see how we're rolling it all out. All right. So before you invest in a club or in the resort or anything like that, you can actually sign up to get on these calls. So you can literally hear all of the owners and all of us like talking and explaining what's going on in El Salvador. Like, all right, we're actually getting ready to line up engineers for the drawings of the resort in El Salvador. Well, we talk about that, so that way, before you invest in anything, you're in the calls with the existing investors and the prospective investors like yourself. So you're hearing it all happen. And you ask questions. Hey, what about this? Blah, blah, blah. We address every question, right? Yes, we are actually, we're lining up engineers so we can get the actual blueprints drawn for the resort in El Salvador. Yeah. So will the new FGW monthly fees be purchased in the new clubs? Yes. That's the Founders Group Worldwide, which is something else. That's yes, our venture capital fund will also be investing in clubs, but I'm structuring it differently, where the Founders Group owns 80% of each of the clubs we launch through the Founders Group Venture Capital Fund. Okay, so if you want on the owner's call, right, if you want to learn what we're doing with the clubs or the resorts, or if you're thinking about it, because as an owner, you're actually paid out in Bitcoin. Why wouldn't I? As an owner, you're paid out in Bitcoin. And if you get on the owner's call, then you get all the education. You get to ask questions. You get to do your own research on the investments in the clubs and resorts. So give us a call, 941-391-3882. And if you call early enough, we can actually get you on the resort or on the owner's call today. All right? There we go. So give us a call right there. Everyone, have a great day. I love you guys, and I will see you on Monday. Bye-bye.
Hey there, crypto curious. Ready for an adventure? Welcome to Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where we turn Bitcoin beginners into blockchain bosses. Our mission? Education, community, and workspace. All in one crypto-tastic package. Let's take a quick tour, shall we? First stop, Nashville. Check out our sweet Brentwood digs. Workspace? Check. Conference room? You bet. Podcast studio? Oh yeah, use code 3MUNISHZPGR for some Music City savings. Now, let's zip over to Massachusetts. Leominster to be exact. We've got workspace, poker nights, and even mining equipment to explore. Mass members use code 3MOMAATGP to save some Satoshis. But wait, there's more. Both locations offer online and in-person training to boost your crypto knowledge, networking events to connect with fellow Bitcoin believers, and 24/7 workspace access for those late-night trading sessions. Plus, expert-led workshops on blockchain technology and cryptocurrency trends. Oh, and did I mention our exclusive members-only Discord channel? It's like a 24/7 crypto party in your pocket.
Thanks to Bitcoin Ben, I've gone from crypto confused to blockchain brilliant.
Ready to join the revolution? Visit BitcoinBenCryptoClub.com or call 562-526-0813. For Nashville inquiries, email info@BitcoinBenCryptoClubNashville.com. And for Massachusetts, reach out to info@BitcoinBenCryptoClubMass.com. Remember, Bitcoin represents economic individual freedom. See you at the club.